Oh, yes, a little Dark Savant local artist hour here on Wednesday from 4 to 5. Waiting on Sean to call in, Sean Ferrer. And let's take a look here. Yeah, we got Sean and Mike. Sean Ferrer and Mike Munsell, who is Dark Savant. And hopefully they'll be calling in here shortly. We got some more music coming to you, but I also want you to remember our new hours of operation. We are opening at 11 o'clock again, just for your drinking pleasure and listening pleasure here at the Radio Bar and Grill. So please come on up, join us. The doors will be open anytime and every time. Come on up. We're having a great time here. 5 or 500 parties always on at the Radio Bar and Grill. Also, $5 Bud Select pitchers all day today. And last night was Tuesday Night Jam, and I know it went fantastic from what I understand. Unfortunately, I'm an old man. I'm home in bed sleeping at that point in time. You know me. We got some more music coming to you. Ooh, hold on here. Let's do this. We're going to do a little wake up just in case you're sleeping. Dark Savant out of Clearwater. Check them out.
Try No problem.
All right. Now, in Sean's behalf, on his behalf, the phone was not hung up and Sean could not call in, but I figured that out when he said, hey, I'm trying to call the other number and it won't go through. It keeps ringing busy. Sean, how are you, brother?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely, man. We've been sitting there. We've played a few of your songs.
Yeah, I've been watching the Ustream. And, yeah, man, thanks a lot for that. Like getting the music out there.
Well, absolutely. And you guys have played here before. I don't know whether Dina has you locked and loaded for another return gig or not.
No, not at the moment. What happened was I had a guitarist that actually had to leave our band, which was Ed Doyle, and it was really sad to see him go because, you know, he was the one that basically wrote all those songs with me. And but I did find another guitarist, and his name is James Levin. And he's definitely, I mean, he has definitely put what I call like the foot in the ass to our music. I mean, his guitar is so much deeper and so much harder. I mean, it really gives the dark part of Dark Savant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, you know, and new blood is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, you don't want to see the tried and true go their separate ways, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with a foot in the ass here and there, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely not, man. And he's been coming along really great. We haven't scheduled anything to come back out there yet. And the reason why is because, you know, we got one new song that we're writing now. He's still polishing off the 7 songs that you got right there on Reverb Nation. And, you know, and then we're on top of that, we're also adding like 5 or 6 covers that probably will fit our music style. So we're looking for next time we come to see you guys, we're going to be able to put on even better show than we did last time, and
well, you guys
hopefully get your bar packed.
Oh, you guys rocked the house last time. I mean, you know, we always have a good time here at the Radio Bar and Grill, and you know, watching these local bands live, people, is a lot better than the recordings. Not that there's nothing wrong with the recordings, especially if you want to buy them, right, Sean?
Yes, yeah, our songs are on sale on Reverb Nation. 50% of every song goes to a charity called CARE, and what they do is they actually help out poverty across the whole entire world in different countries as well as our own. So they're $1.29 a song, which isn't a lot of money to pay for a really good rock song. And
not at all.
Download it straight to your computer, your phone, anything of that nature, and like I said, 50% of that goes to a really good charity.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, there ain't too many people out there that I know doing that, especially, at least not that I know of. So that's righteous, brother. I like that.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, we think to ourselves, yeah, we're musicians, and yeah, we want to make money just the same as anybody else, but we actually do it more for the love of it. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for the love of it, I mean, the amount of money that I've put into it already is like astronomical. So
yeah, you'll have to be doing it for 180 years just to break even, brother.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not going to live that long.
Well, very few of us do.
Yeah, 34 years old, man, and I'm still kicking.
Oh, so. You're a puppy. I don't even want to discuss age with you now, brother. Sorry.
Well, my drummer's in his 50s, so, I mean, you know.
Well, hey.
I got some age here.
Just because you're 50, life doesn't end at 50. Trust me.
No, hell no. That guy parties, man, and rocks harder than anybody I know so far.
Yeah, and actually, I remember him up there, and, yeah, you guys were pretty much rocking the house, and amen to the 50-year-olds, all of us.
Oh, yeah, man. We gave him a nickname about a year ago. We call him Bobby Socks. And the reason why is because every time he gets behind the drums, he tucks his pants inside his socks.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember
that. Quirky thing he does.
Yeah, I do remember that, Bobby Socks. That's funny. Well,
yep, and Mike Muscle, he, like I said, he wishes he could have been on the phone with you guys too. I'm pretty sure that he's probably streaming live at his house just so he can watch it and make sure I don't say anything really bad.
Well, I mean, if you say it, you say it. There's not much he can do to stop you unless he's a mind reader.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, we nicknamed him. That's Junk Mike. He rides the Iron Dog Junk Hauler. And I'll be honest with you, man, that dude, he's a beast, man, on the bass guitar, man. He made our music. When we first started, it was just me and Ed Doyle, and we were in my garage with a PA system and a little tiny practice amp, and then it just went from there. And Bob came along, and back then when we first started writing this stuff, Bob used to play in my garage on a set of towels on his lap and a bucket in front of him to keep beat. Yeah, man. So you want to talk about actually like stepping stones and roots? That's how all that started. And then, Bob brought Mike, and the first time I had ever seen Mike, me and Mike were in a cover band quite a few years ago, and we had lost touch. And the next thing I know, Mike comes to my house and picks up the bass guitar, man, and like I think we played like one song for him, and that man literally just tore it up, and I went, wow. Yeah, we're going to keep him.
Yeah, it's time to bring home back home.
Yeah.
And actually it's kind of amazing sometimes where, you have somebody, and it's like you were saying, your one guitarist went away, and now you've got the new one, but you never know down the road.
Oh yeah, I know. And even though Ed Doyle's not part of Dark Savant anymore, I'd still talk to him on the phone. He's living in Orlando right now, and he still comes back to the Tampa Bay area every once in a while, to see some really good live music. And he's always told me, anytime you want me to come out and jam with you guys, I'll be more than gracious. And I'm like, hey, man, you're always welcome, dude.
All right, well, we've played quite a few of these, so let's backtrack here a little bit. Now, we were listening to Belief, and I'll be honest with you, there's two versions up here. Are they the same version?
No, actually, well, the one version was an older like demo cut that we did. And basically what we did when we first started the band, every single practice that we had, we would record every single practice.
Right.
So what we did, and that gave us like a little insight on being able to, when we're at home, we pick apart the songs. We sit there and go, all right, well, that part was good. This part sucked. I think this needs to come up. The drums need to hit harder here. Stuff like that. So it was more, our band was basically focused on more homework than anything.
Right.
So, the musicians that are involved, it's not only were they going to rehearsal once a week and, basically writing and creating music, but, then they also had to take that home and sit at home in their free time, which if they hadn't, they're all family men. So, to be able to sit at home and actually, sit down and actually get a quiet minute and really focus, and then come back to rehearsal the next week with, 50 to 70% more than what you had at the last rehearsal, is a great achievement, especially when you're being creative.
Well, and absolutely. And, to be able to backtrack and listen to what you're doing, and, like you were saying, well, let's pop this here, let's back off of this here. And everybody that can get into it with you, and here's the same thing that you're hearing. That's where it all begins, is everybody's on the same page, and you're all hearing the same things, whether you agree on it or not. Well, no, I like the drums there, or no, I agree, but we need to backtrack on this part. That's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. Original music, I sang covers for quite a number of years, and I like covers. There's nothing wrong with covers. But, I just got to a point where I was like, I was doing the same artists over and over and over again, and I was like, I've actually written quite a few songs myself, and maybe I should back off of doing covers and actually start my own band, and, and focus mainly on original music, and that's where Dark Savant started from.
Well,
it was just an idea.
And we've had this conversation with my partner, when my partner's in here with me, to do covers. One, if you do a cover and you screw up, everybody knows it because they know what the song's supposed to be like, versus doing originals. Yeah, unless somebody really knows your music, you might have a blunder here or there, but the problem with originals is a lot of places don't want to put original music in their establishments because nobody knows them. Yeah,
and then, I think that's completely wrong. I had this conversation with I forget what you would call her. I guess she's a columnist for Mayhem magazine, and I went out to see Greenville Mayhem at a Pepper Festival, and she interviewed me while I was out there, and I said, honestly, I believe it should be a 50-50 thing with the bars to original artists. Yeah, we have to advertise, and yeah, we actually have to go out and find fans and people, and basically what we're doing is trying to make you money.
yeah, you're spending your money so they can make money.
Right, exactly. But in the long run, we're trying to establish ourselves and get our name out there. So eventually, guess what? We're making money too.
Well, sure, and if you can lock in a following, as an original band, and there's a lot of original bands around here that do have a following, within reason. Now, you guys are out of Clearwater area. You really got to have some staunch fans to come all the way over here to Radio Bar and Grill. But if you're out there in the Clearwater area and people know you, the bars know that, hey, when these guys come in, they're bringing 5, 10, whatever, 15 people with them besides the band. That's where that word kind of gets out.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
owners.
In the end, I mean, it comes down to the idea that, most of the time, most original bands, I mean, unless you're like Sunshine and Bullets or, one of these bigger name bands that are original bands, and they, they're very well known. They have one hell of a great following. They're actually making some coin.
Sure.
But, mainly like a smaller bands like myself, and I mean, I wouldn't consider myself bottom of the barrel for the simple fact that, I mean, at this point, we've been on Reverb Nation for like, I think, 4 days with that album, and we're ranked 40th in the Tampa Bay area in alternative.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I was really in shock by that. I mean, it was really weird. It was like, one day we were at like 70-something, the next day it was 66, the next day it was 49, and now it's 40. So I'm hoping that, soon I'll be able to get up there in the top 10. That'll be really great.
Oh, you know what they say, number one with a bullet, right, brother?
Yes, sir.
All you got to do is load the gun.
Yeah, that's what the old saying goes. But I mean, a lot of those songs, believe it or not, man, are mainly emotions. They're stories of our lives.
Well, I was going to ask you about Wake Up. Now, we had just played Wake Up a few minutes ago. It wasn't the last song I played. Wake Up. There's so many different ways to look at that. I mean, that's one of them. Okay, I'm always late for work. Somebody needs to get my ass out of bed. Versus, this just hit me in the face, and wow, I didn't see it coming. I need to wake up and pay attention.
No, in actuality, the song has nothing to do with either one of those.
Well, leave it to me, brother.
No, the song actually was written, and believe it or not, what it is it explains. The first part of the song explains me waking up to my wife. And, you know what I mean, every single morning, looking at her and seeing how beautiful she really is and how well she actually stands next to me for my music and my career and things of that nature. And then towards the middle of the song, it's basically talking about everybody else's life on how they wake up and, things need to be set in perpetual motion in order for you to actually feel whole. So that's why we call it Wake Up.
Well, and I will tell you this, brother, from a married man's point of view, and I've been married almost as long as you've been alive, but, to have that, a lot of people do not have that, to where when they wake up, they look at the person next to them and think, wow, without this other person, I'm not who I am.
Oh, I'd be screwed, dude.
Well,
without that woman, I'd be so screwed, it'd be unbelievable.
Well, trust me, I'm in the same boat, and actually not quite as long as you've been alive, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wow, you really showed your age on that one.
Nah, we've nailed a quarter of a century together, brother. But
Wow. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far, man. I'm coming up on 5 years, and they've been probably about the happiest 5 years of my life. So, everything is going good, and like I said, most of those songs, like With You haven't played yet, but With You is one of those songs where that's basically a song about my wife.
Well, I tell you what, why don't we go and play it?
Go ahead.
All right, guys. Dark Savant, all the way from Clearwater, Florida. And you guys got to get back out and start playing again. So
I know, man. I know. Trust me, dude. I've been itching.
All right, guys.
Love stage time.
Let's check this out a little With You about the significant other.
Love never fails.
it helps for a radio DJ.
All right, guys, we're back on air. I got Sean from Dark Savant with me, and we were sitting there listening to with you, and we're talking off air. Now, you've been talking about how much time you guys have been putting into Dark Savant as a group. My question to you is this. Now, you're a married man, and you said all but one of you guys are married. With the amount of time and effort that you have to put in this, what type of, not strain, but, what type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Pressure does it put on a relationship?
Well, I mean, I know for a fact that, like my bass player, I know that he probably spends anywhere between, say, 2 and maybe 4 hours a day in his own studio at his house. And, he's working on his music. And, of course, we all work full-time jobs during the day.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no way that I'd be able to do this without my full-time job. I'm a contract painter that I do high-rise buildings.
Oh, so inside or out?
Outside.
Oh, better you than me, brother.
Yeah, that's what everybody tells me. But, I know for a fact, when I started this, the strain had already been there from being in the cover bands. We were playing out every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night for years. And, my wife would come to every single show. And it actually got to the point where she didn't even want to come to the show anymore for the simple fact that she knew all the songs. And, it was always a long night. We didn't get out of there until 3 in the morning. And we have a child. And it was crazy. I mean, it got to the point where, I was going to practice 3 nights out of the week, and I was playing out 3 nights a week. And when I started doing the original music, that kind of slowed down a little bit. So there was a little less stress, where, she knew where I was going to be and how long I was going to be gone, and, and that was it. So, as far as my drummer is concerned, I know it definitely puts some stress on his wife. Because, like I said, he's an older man, he has a career as a cabinet maker. And, he's an excellent drummer, knows what he's doing, knows where he's supposed to be. But, of course, he's got to go to rehearsal once a week. He's got to work on stuff at home that takes away from his wife and his kids, it's just an ongoing thing, man, that, it's either you love it or you just don't do it.
Yeah, and that's one of them things. Look, I love doing this, but I love you more. So let's backtrack on one thing to cover the other.
Right, exactly.
And a lot of people don't realize, if they go see Dark Savant, it's you guys on stage. And it's the same. I have a very good friend of mine, Sammy Davis Jr., who is actually the front man for Blackwater Jack. And his wife, Jerica, they played here a few times. I've gone out and seen them quite a few different times. They're, like I said, they are good friends of mine. And, Jerica goes to the shows, but I agree with what your wife's saying. Been there, done that, heard it. She'll go to the show because we call her the handler, but she's not paying attention to Sammy on stage. She's talking with me and my wife and, and everything else and partying with us as Sammy's up there playing.
Oh, definitely. I completely agree with that because, I'd have to say probably the last 15 shows that my wife actually went to, she wasn't paying attention to what I was doing on stage. And half the time she probably doesn't want to pay attention to what I'm doing on stage. That's the other part that gives you a little bit of stress. When you're a young guy, and I'm not trying to say I'm like the best looking dude on the planet because I'm far from it.
Yeah,
but
that's
when
my
you're a
job.
young guy and you're the front man and you're on stage, there's going to be women around. And, that was another thing, that probably heated a little bit of stress in our relationship for a while there was, I had girls coming up and asking for my phone number and stuff, and I'm like looking at them going, my wife is like right there. And they're looking at me. I'll never forget one chick I had. She looked at me and asked me for my phone number. My wife was sitting right there, literally a foot away from us. And I said that to her, and she went, I don't care. I was like, oh, my God. What am I going to do?
That's what you tell her, well, if my wife gives it to you, we're all good, baby. Other than that, sorry about your bad luck.
That would have been a really good answer, but at that point, I was actually, for the first time in my life, I was speechless.
I'm sure your wife wasn't.
No, she wasn't. And, the one thing I can say about my wife is that if you piss her off, she's far from speechless.
Yeah, I mean, you can step on a lot of different toes, but when you step on a lady's man's toes or her own, yeah, stand by, watch out, because it's coming.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Then there was, then there's some bars that I used to play in that were, how would you say, lesser caliber patrons. And, I almost didn't want her there because, I couldn't really control too much when I'm on stage.
Right.
And she's sitting out in the crowd or she's sitting at the bar or something like that. There's only so much I can control with a microphone.
Right.
And, so I got to a point where, if we were going to be playing somewhere like that, I'd be like, honey, why don't you sit this one out?
Yeah. I'm going to be up on stage, and if I see Roman hands and Russian fingers, I'm going to have to come off of stage.
Oh, trust me, I've almost charged off stage a couple of times, but, I was actually fortunate enough that a friend of mine named Paul, God rest his soul, he just passed away about a year ago, and he used to come to all our shows. And this guy was like a bull, and he would just basically guard the women.
Hey, that works.
Yeah, that was his job, man. His job was to guard the women at all costs.
Well, I mean, you get a half a slab of beef out there, and you don't want to go there. Most guys won't.
No, definitely not. I used to have a signal that I would actually give him when I was on stage if someone got a little too tipsy and would come up there trying to grab my mic or something like that, whatever. And I would actually just put an X with my arms above my head. And this guy, I've literally seen him bulldog a guy to the ground right in front of me.
You built-in bouncer. You bring your own bouncer with you.
Hey, it worked, man. It worked because most of the places that I go to, I play in bars like Fat Cats or something like that, and it's just a bartender or two bartenders, two chicks behind the bar. There's no other dudes there to enforce anything, so if something breaks out, they're just going to call 911. So, I got to a point where we just bring our own bouncer, and it was easier that way.
Well, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I've met some female bartenders that I wouldn't want to piss off.
Well, I've seen a couple of them jump over a bar and stuff, which I thought was very athletic. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I wonder how many shots of Red Bull she needed to get over that bar.
Well, I tell you what, I've sat in one or two bars in my life, and normally if a bartender gets in the middle of something, I won't move until the bartender looks at me and kind of nods their head like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Come take care of this piece of trash for me.
Oh yeah, well there's definitely a fine line between, is it handled or does it need to be handled? Yeah. And I found in life, if you see a situation and you even question it in your mind, you don't need to do anything then.
Yep. All right, well, we've been talking about the significant others of your band, and you had mentioned that you're a father.
Yep.
And, I don't know what percentage, and actually I need to ask, what percentage of the lyrics versus the music are you writing or other guys in the band writing?
I write all the lyrics.
Okay.
I'm the one that wrote all the lyrics. All of the guitar on that album was written by Ed Doyle. All the bass tracks, that was Ed and Mike Munsell getting together, and really, either following each other or, Mike would actually just write his own bass track on there. And, there's a couple of songs, that we've done that, Mike really came out of left field, but it worked. It just fit the song.
Well, and obviously, like we were talking, your wife is a definite inspiration to you. What about your child? Now, I don't mean that to sound the way it is. When do we see songs from Dark Savant about the young ones?
Well, the thing about that is, in my mind, is I try and leave specific parts out. And the reason why is because, with the type of music that we like to do, is really hard alternative grunge. And if I was going to write a song about my son, it wouldn't sound that way. It'd be more of somewhere between a country and a contemporary song.
Well, no, and I understand what you're saying, but that isn't necessarily what I'm talking about. To watch, and being a father, to watch your child look at something in a totally different point of view than you normally would, or experience something for the first time, and the look on his face, I mean, there's got to be a spark there somewhere for you to, wow, I can turn that into this, or, and it doesn't have to be, I'm not saying write a song, I love my son. I'm saying, you watch your son look at something and, see the awe in his eyes, where you look at something, it's the same thing or something similar, and you just pass it by.
Right. Well, I can say that, you know what I mean? Let me think. All right. Here's a good, for instance, the song that you already played, I Can't.
Right.
Okay. There were a couple ideas in that when Ed wrote a good majority of can't and belief. And the reason for that is because of things like that. When you looked at your son or you looked at your significant other or something like that, and you just saw something, it may not have been like a positive thing. It may have been a negative thing, but you saw something and you went, you know what? That would make a really good song. So I understand where you're coming from. I just, I haven't really gotten to that part of the emotions yet, as far as, incorporating things like that with my son, and, you know what I mean? I'm hoping that maybe in the future, that I would actually put together something like that, or, maybe observe a little bit more, between work, home, bands, home, family. It's monotonous sometimes. And I write, I go out in the garage and I sit there for hours and just sit in silence.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is something's going to happen one of these days, and it's just going to click for you, brother. Trust me. I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, and it may be years down the road, it may be tomorrow. You never know.
It'll probably be tomorrow, because I don't want to be years down the road.
Well, no, I'm just, but there will be that one point in time, or, well, a lot of them probably, that, something will happen, you're like, wow. If I didn't have my son, I never would have looked at that way. Let's do something about that. And, it's going to happen. Trust me.
Well, I'm not I can't say that I'm an artist that's been around for a long period of time. As an original artist, I've been around a little over a year. And, we've definitely gotten a lot of momentum in that year. But, working on songs and getting my name out there and, letting people know who Sean Ferrer is, it's a long road. As they say, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
That's it. Now, do you guys, does Dark Savant have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right, now, guys, if you're on Facebook, there's a special spelling to Dark Savant.
That's correct.
Go ahead. I'll let you do it.
It is D-E, oh my God, I can't even spell. You got me flustered.
It's
we
Dark.
spell it Dark, D-A-R-K, Savant, S-A-V-V-A-N-T.
Yes, that is a double V, so it's S-A-V-V-A-N-T, Dark Savant on Facebook.com. Or you can go to Reverb Nation. Now, we do a lot of work here on Reverb Nation, and what Reverb Nation actually is a website to where a lot of local bands can record and download their music so that you guys can go and check them out. So Reverb Nation is all one word, R-E-V-E-R-B, Reverb Nation, all one word. And look up Dark Savant. That's D-A-R-K-S-A-V-V-A-N-T. Check them out. And you can actually, like Sean was saying, you can download their music for $1.29 a song, and 50% of that is going to, what was the name of the
charity that we have is called CARE.
CARE.
C-A-R-E. And what they do is they help out hunger and poverty around the world, including in our own country. Not only overseas, not only in Ethiopia and all these countries that you see on television with the commercials and stuff, but they also help out poverty for children and things like that. Getting young kids that are in this United States, this beautiful country, getting them food and provisions and things that they need when they're lesser or don't actually have it.
Well, and I agree with you, and there is no reason any child should go hungry. And, for $1.29 a song, guys, 50% of that goes to help keep our children fed all through the entire world, just like we're being broadcast live to the entire world. Now, there's two songs left, Sean. We got Dreaming and we got Tanya. Now, I've been looking at Tanya, and I didn't really want to ask, but...
Oh, it's an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Okay, I wasn't necessarily going to go there, but I wasn't sure because I really didn't want to throw you. Well, I haven't heard the song yet, so all right, Tanya was a bitch, so shall we go there?
Sure.
All right, guys, Dark Savant coming to you from Clearwater here to Party Pirate 102.1 FM, a little Tanya because she was a bitch. Oh, yes. I want to say thank you to Sean for joining me here, Dark Savant Artist Hour. Sean had to go and get his wife from work before he got in trouble. That's a family man right there. Father, husband, lead singer, guitarist, everything. Dark Savant, can't wait to see you again. Thank you so much for joining me. And trust me, if my wife wasn't sitting here with me, I'd have to get up and go. I'm still going to have to get up and go. Guys, I got one more from Dark Savant coming to you, and we're going back to the playlist. I'll be right back. A little dreaming from Dark Savant, Party Pirate 102.1. Uh-oh, Dark Savant coming to you live from the Radio Bar and Grill. I want to say thank you to Sean and the guys from Dark Savant for joining us here, Local Artist Hour, every Wednesday. I want you to remember next Wednesday, first hour out of the box, we're going to be doing a compilation of all of the bands that have joined us here at the Radio Bar and Grill for Local Artist Hour. Guys, that's going to about do it for me. I thank you all for joining me. Hope you all had a good time. I know I did, just like I always do, especially when you guys are with me. I wish you all blue skies and dry roads and no red lights. I'm Ozman. I'm up. I'm out. Rubberside down.
From the studios at the Radio Bar and Grill, you're listening to the Ozman on the Party Pirate 102.1 FM.